The federal government has invited the leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, for meetings on Wednesday and Thursday this week to find a lasting solution to the ongoing strike by the union. The first meeting will be with the Minister of State Education, Chief Chukwemeka Mwajuba, today, Wednesday, while tomorrow, Thursday, the ASUP team will meet with the Labour Minister, Dr. Chris Indige. Are these meetings going to permanently solve the myriad of issues plaguing our polytechnics? That's the question we hope to find answers to as we host Dr. Desmond O. Echeta, who is a senior lecturer in economics at the Imo State Polytechnic. Umago Haji is also a public sector economist. Good morning.
Good morning, Paul. Zandas and our listeners.
Yes, I am Paul the Magician.
And I'm Zandas, Okeke, Otigba. Good morning. And Paul asked a billion naira question. Is that going to be the end of strike? One good thing, though, is that for me, the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Chris Ngige, seems to be working and busy these days. That is
By
not about
having meetings.
By negotiating,
Okay.
negotiating with striking workers and unions. I want that kind of busy bee kind of work
Shadow.
for all the ministers,
Interesting.
instead of just sitting in Abuja doing nothing.
Because I agree with you, there are some ministers whose name I don't know.
What are you saying?
So, well, we will, as usual manner, go through some local tabloids to have a feel of what's being reported this morning.
All right, let's start with the news echo this morning. And the bold one is Ebubagu Security Network. Will it work? And you have Ebubagu matter arising. Ohaneze loud Southeast Governors. Southeast Governors Forum toothless bulldog. Ebubagu perfect move or another big joke. And you have the face of is it a leopard here? You know. IPOB wants youths, Igbo youths against Ebubagu outfits. You see, this is now war of words.
Yeah.
I saw somewhere where Uwazurike was saying IPOB's ESN is only on social media, and now IPOB is warning Igbo youths against Ebubagu outfit. Again, gunmen attack Ebonyi community, kill 4, burn houses. Rainstorm destroy 100 houses in Aguleri. 17 perish in flood mishap. And yes, the story that has overflowed the media space is EFCC worsens Okorocha's woes, arrest ex-governor. Since yesterday, the media space has been agog with the arrest of the former governor of Imo State, Chief Rochas, or Senator Rochas Okorocha, which is which.
And if we are to go to Star Posts Express, Ebubago is also making headline here. INC to Southeast Governors. Your Ebubago has no legal framework. This describes it as a huge joke. I think we should have your thoughts on this, all of this screaming headlines
On
for
Ebubago.
and against Ebubago, with those who are just waiting to watch how Ebubago will effectively solve our insecurity issues. Let's have a quick take on that.
Well, generally, we know we have a lot of insecurity in Nigeria, from the northeast to the northwest to the north central. Even in southeast here, we've seen series of killings. So, in fact, the Ebubago of a thing is coming on the heels of the maybe governors trying to respond to some of all these security challenges. But again, I know it is coming late, but it is better to be late than not even starting at all. But what I have to say here is that let there be let's say framework, institutional framework to back up the establishment of whatever thing you are establishing. For instance, the state houses of assembly in all the 5 states in the zone should be able to domesticate. In fact, they should be able to make law and let that law guide whatever thing that is going to be happening. They had also intimated, Governor Dave Umahi, that the headquarters will be Enugu. So let all the state houses of assembly begin to do something then let there be plan that is actually going to work, because security concerns all of us. So for me, I think that we should give them the support, and they should also detach politics from it and know that what we are doing here is to save the lives and property of the people in the Southeast.
Okay. All right, one or two other headlines from Midweek Star Post. Man turns church premises into kidnapper's den. Page 9 has details of that. And if we must add this one, it's search for peace in Imshwa. A brief from the Abuja P. Okay. I don't think that will concern us much. Okay, that does it for Midweek Star Post Express.
All right, let's quickly take a dash through Blueprint newspaper this morning. The bold one says, IPOP to Southeast youths, embrace Ebubagu, join your ancestors. With the rider says security outfit formed to sabotage ESN. Gunmen abduct female soldier, 2 others in Ibadan. 2 kidnapped in Abuja. Troops foil attempt at Plateau Varsity. Adegboye meets El Rufai, says victory is in sight.
Should we take this threat seriously by IPOP?
You see, IPOB already, I don't want to begin to talk about IPOB, but whether we like it or not, IPOB exists. Just the way they also talk about the alleged formation of ESN. Whether we also believe it or not, ESN exists. If ESN does not exist, I don't see why the military would have come to Olo to combat the alleged formation of the ESN. So the truth is there staring at us. But again, let us do what we are supposed to do. When we do what we are supposed to do, for example, you see that there is no influx of herdsmen, whether they are Fulani herdsmen or whatever they may call themselves. If they are not attacking people, then there won't be need for all this heightened security agitation we are talking about now. So everybody should do the needful. If you say you are IPOP, if you say you are ESN, you say you are Ebubago, let us see what we are going to do to secure our people.
All right. Drama as NAS staff protest unpaid salary arrears. It's inexcusable not to pay workers. Bajabia Mila. All right, and we'll just take one more here. Ex-Imo Gov Okorocha arrested by EFCC operatives.
Okay, to the crux of the matter. ASUP had declared an indefinite strike last week, Tuesday, over alleged poor funding and neglect of the institutions. Dr. Desmond, please tell us, how bad is the situation? I mean, why is ASUP resorting to an indefinite strike to solve the issues plaguing polytechnics in Nigeria?
You see, when we talk about strike today, strike is not a household lingua franca, because everybody, every now and then, you see, if it is not the judiciary workers on strike, it will be the health workers on strike. If it's not the health workers on strike, you see ASU or ASUP on strike and all that. But again, we have to tell ourselves the truth. The reason we are having these strikes is because of lack of government commitment on keeping to agreements. And that has been the major bane of the industrial action we are having today in Nigeria across all sectors. For ASUP, for instance, you see, ASUP had several agreements reached, validly reached, between ASUP and federal government, between ASUP and some state government. But each time those agreements were reached, government will always renege. Government will not be able to do the needful. I'm not talking about this present government, because we have seen an unending strikes, particularly in education. Just last year, ASUP was on strike for 9 good months. ASUP is now on strike for the same reason they were on strike 10 years ago, for the same reason they were on strike 5 years ago. And each time they are on strike, government will quickly, like you've seen the ministers, education and labor minister, they have now invited ASUP. They will, at the end of the day, come up with an agreement, either MOU or MOA, whatever thing they call it. But at the end of the day, when it comes to furnish consideration, they won't be able to do anything.
These MOUs they enter with ASUP, is it always in black and white?
Yes, they are written.
They are written.
They are usually written. For example, you talk about minimum wage for the federal polytechnics. They are talking about minimum wage, 10 months minimum wage arrears. Minimum wage had a law that backed it up. So why would government not now, why would government violate the law they had already passed? Now we talk about the needs assessment. Need assessment has to, in fact, it affects almost all the polytechnics in Nigeria. And the agreement was entered in 2014. How many years ago? And
7.
Up till this moment, federal government had refused not to do anything. What about the issue of reconstituting governing council of federal polytechnics and some state polytechnics? They have not been able to do that. You know that there is a law that establishes each polytechnic, and that law will talk about the governing council. It is the governing council to recruit the principal officers, recruit members of staff, teaching and non-teaching staff. It is that governing council to take care of promotions of staff, the appraisal of staff, the promotion of staff. And if those governing councils are not in place, it means you are denying the workers so many things. So these are some of the issues that ASU is now saying, no, we don't want this, we don't want that. Go back to the agreements validly reached, implement them. Some of them are things you even do without spending money. You know the people to appoint, you know when the tenure of the governing council is expiring. Why not put machinery in place so that as their tenure will be expiring, you bring in the next set of members?
Imo State Polytechnic, we hear, pulled out of the strike action. And the report was that members are even accusing the ASUP chairman here in Imo State of collecting 1 million naira to suspend the strike action. Can you please confirm this report, and what is the situation of things with Imo State Polytechnic with regards to first of all the issue of governing council that you just talked about, secondly the strike action which is embarked upon by all polytechnics nationwide? Is Imo Polytechnic part of it?
Yeah, you see, let us tell ourselves the truth. At NEC, that's the National Executive Council of ASUP, a lot of politics are played there. So it is for the individual chapter chairmen who are members of NEC to fit in or be able to play that national politics. And what do? Once a strike is to be declared, a chairman that is responsible, that knows what he's doing, will be able to factor into the national strike the peculiarities of that particular chapter. Once that is done, you now have the moral right to convince your members to be part of that strike. But in Imo State Polytechnic, for example, I don't think that was done, because if you check in the strike bulletin, nothing was mentioned about Imo State Polytechnic. Maybe that could be part of the reason. I am not the spokesperson. Remember, I was the former ASUP chairman, so I'm not the spokesperson of the union. But for all I know, as ex-official, I know that nothing about Imo Poly was captured in that national strike.
Is academic activities ongoing?
Yes, as at yesterday. But again, I want to tell you, in Imo Poly, since the present administration, I would say that the governor has actually restored 100% of salaries of the workers. That eluded us during the tenure of former governor Rocha Sokorocha. In fact, the salaries were slashed up to 20% cut off in our salaries, that within the period under review, a senior lecturer had to lose up to 4 to 5 million naira within the period Rochas Okorocha was there. And now Hope Uzodinma came on board, he was able to restore that 100%. You see, when the governor has done well, we should be able to say he has done well. Yes. Another interesting thing in Imopoli today is that the management of Imopoli is a calm one. They are doing everything to see that those perceived wrongdoings in the past meted on the union, on the staff, the employees, they are doing everything to see that they let government know about it. For example, for the past 6 years, we've never received salaries. Maybe when it is Christmas period, December. It was only last year we got December salary and went for the Christmas holiday with the December salary.
Loaded.
It also happened in this Easter. We also got, in fact, before the end of March, we had received the salary. So these are some of the things the governor has done.
So Imo Polytechnic has no reason to join.
No, I am not saying they don't. You see, the unions are like Oliver Twist. Yes, he has done all these good things. After all, the problems were not created by him, but government is a continue. He's trying to solve those problems. But again, it is the responsibility of the union to say, yes, since you have done this, Your Excellency, we are still having March, April salaries of 2018 owed to the workers.
Hold your thoughts. We have to take some commercials now.
March, April.
Stay tuned. The People's Voice continues shortly after this.
FM, the People's Radio.
Please, sir, how do I get to Retire Well Crescent?
It's easy. Just go straight on longitude 155. Take a 360-degree turn, then traverse on the trajectory. And bam, you enter the streets. You can't miss it.
At Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, we believe that preparing for the future should be easy. Email switch to pensionsolution@stanbicibtc.com and let our experienced managers help you get started. Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, a member of Standard Bank Group.
Oh my gonna for you. Hello?
Casey, baby, how far now? Shall you go free this Sunday? I won't spoil person pikin.
Hey, which Sunday?
This one now.
I know day.
Sunday after I'm come.
Every Sunday, I no go free.
Wetin happen?
You mean say you no know? New season of Nigerian Idol don land.
Yes, sir. Nigerian Idol don land. Better singing competition with talent wey sabi and plenty drama from the judges. Una go fit watch weekly shows from March 28 and every Sunday for Africa Magic Channel 2 by 7 p.m. sharp. So run, recharge your GoTV subscription on top my GoTV app or USSD star 288 hash to enjoy yourself. Na Techno Mobile and Biggie Drinks bring on this season of Nigerian Idol. GoTV, love it.
Yes, I won it. Oh my gosh. Guys, since I joined BigBet, I've been cashing out steadily. You don't mean it. Look at you. Let me tell you, they offer bigger odds, 315% accumulator bonus, got one bonus, and you can even cash out anytime, whether in the shops or online. They also have the best virtual games and jackpots. You see, they even pay winnings instantly. Guy, choose bigger rewards. Visit www.biggiebet.com to claim your 120% welcome bonus now. BigGieBet, bigger reward, bigger life.
The BBC News World Service app makes listening to your favorite programs on your phone even easier. And for times when you can't use Wi-Fi or data to listen, just hit the call to listen button in the middle of the screen.
This is the BBC World Service.
Call to listen is only available in selected territories. For dial-up news services, standard geographic mobile charges will apply. Please check with your provider for exact cost before calling. Download the BBC News World Service app from your usual store.
Eze, this way they smile left, right and center. Now waiting be the secret.
Hey, my sister, have you never hear of Obas Global Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited?
No.
Obas Global a cooperative we don't stand up gidigam for Bayelsa. Call Landa we order with correct package. Any money where you save with Obas Global will give you 35% monthly, and your capital will still be intact till the day where you want collect them. Even save Obas Global, they help people pay school fees, give you loan to take start business, and also 1 month certified forex training. Their head office day for Bayelsa for opposite Timikon filling station near NIT Road, Etegwe, Yenugua. For Owerri, them day for Immaculate Plaza, last floor, opposite UBA, Wedra Road, Owerri. Oya, quick, call them for 0807-882-0488 or 0901-028-5285. Make you follow the enjoy. Their email now obasglobalmultipurposecorporate@gmail.com. Secure your future now with Obas Global.
OneXBet, huge wins from high odds all the way with the fastest payout. Take more of our winning advantages from your deserving bets on all sports, because with OneXBet, everyone can win. What about you? Visit our website on onexbet.ng. Use promo code BETNG and get up to 200% bonus on your first deposit. Yes, 200% bonus on your first deposit. OneXBet. Bets for every taste.
Do you know that you have the right to quality broadcasting? The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint to the station and all right to the Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, number 20, Ibrahim Taiwo Street, Asokoro, Abuja, or send a mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that your complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that your complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
Please, sir, how do I get to Retire Well Crescent?
It's easy. Just go straight on longitude 155. Take a 360-degree turn. Then traverse on the trajectory. And bam, you enter the streets. You can't miss it.
At Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, we believe that preparing for the future should be easy. Email switch to pensionsolution@stanbicibtc.com and let our experienced managers help you get started. Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, a member of Standard Bank Group.
Easy to install, durable tiles with quality. Resistant to earthquake, necessity and cold.
Wow, it's trending. Luxury Building and Accessories Limited has brought to you Italian stone chip coated roof tiles. Italian stone chip coated roof tiles. It comes in 2 types: Galaxy roof tiles and luxury roof tiles by Peru, with interesting qualities like lightweight, easy to install, economically priced, fireproof, non-cracking, non-tearing, non-calling, resistant to earthquakes, typhoons, excessive heat and cold, less labor. Structure of the steel roof tiles is superb. We have shingle, bond, classic, shake, Roman, Milano, Pisa, slate, etc. The color does not change. What are you waiting for? Go for tiles that can last for you. Durable with quality Italian stone chip coated roof tiles. Call us on 070-40-333-333.
Italian stone chip coated roof tile is my choice.
Italian stone chip coated roof tiles. Built with quality.
107.3 Darling FM. The People's Radio.
27 minutes past 9. You're tuned to 107.3 Darling FM. Our focus is on the incessant strike actions carried on by ASUP. Of course, we have to mention that our judicial workers are still on strike, and that has crippled our activities in the courts. Legislative workers are on strike, which means our legislators cannot sit. And if we factor in the executive order 10 of the president, which was signed into law last year, mandating that the state judiciary and legislative arms of government should have autonomy over their finance, then one wonders why almost 1 year after the workers are going on strike to beg the state governors to implement what is already in the law. So I know we've spent the first part of this conversation talking about ASUP. But let's look at the general strike actions as things are unfolding in Nigeria right now. Every union agitating for one thing or the other. It's either the federal government is renegading on their promises, or they are virtually disobeying what is in the constitution. What's your take on this?
You see, do you think that we actually need executive order to now talk about separation of powers? So signing that executive order, I feel it is not even supposed to be, because the constitution says that we have three arms of government, and from separation of power, each of them must be independent. So, but again, for the president to have given more strength to that particular constitutional provision is something we also have to applaud. But again, why is it that the same government have refused to also do the needful? That particular thing should be automatic. It's not something you begin to negotiate. It's not something people should go on strike if we are in insane society.
This is where they lose me, and I agree with you. The federal government, part of the order was that Accountant General of the Federation should deduct from source.
First line charge, it should be.
Yes, from the state government and send directly to the judiciary and the
so why has that not been done?
Exactly.
You see, what you have said now, when we begin to look at the features of a state that is trying to fail, I don't want to say that Nigeria is a failed state, but a state that is trying to fail, the first indicator is that the institutions do not work. And if the institutions are not working, then it is subjective of the fact that we are trying to fail. Just come to think of it, what is actually working in Nigeria? The health sector is failing. The education sector is failing. Security is failing. The economy is failing. So we need to actually begin to do something now, or we'll all pay for it.
Is it possible to state that both the federal and state governments are incapable of solving all of this mirage of issues raised by these unions? Are they inundated with so many issues that it's becoming too big and too larger than life itself for the federal government and state to handle?
Yes, I agree with you that, you see, we have a lot of problems. Like I have said during the course of introducing this topic, I described the situation to be an unending crisis. It has been there. And for us in academics, you say carry over. You do a course, you don't pass, you carry it over. And there is a point you continue to carry over, the institution will advise you to go home. So we've seen a lot of carryover. Successive government have been carrying those things over and over and over. Like Chris Ngige, the Honorable Minister, will tell you, in fact, right in his heart, in his mind, he'll be telling you, well, let me do the bit I can. After all, the problem was not started by me. Let me do the little I can. If at the end of 4 years, at the end of 8 years, wherever we'll get to, we'll stop there. And one comedian will tell us, one lemon jugoji, he will tell you, instead of Nigeria to be good and he dies, it will be better for him to be alive so that he will help in solving the problems. So, on a lighter note, but we have to tell ourselves the truth. A lot of problems are being created in the past.
Yeah, but
in trying to remember that there was a time the president of this country wrote PhD. I mean, Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes.
What did he do in education sector? He was a lecturer. What did he do? So what do you not expect from somebody that I know he doesn't have a BSc? I mean, the president. But there was a time somebody that had a PhD was the president of this country. But nothing much happened. Within that same period, ASUP was on strike.
Help me understand something. A president signs an order that gives powers to the Accountant General of the Federation to send money directly to the judicial and legislative arms of government, which is a constitutional matter. And you're saying we need time to implement this directive.
There are, see, let me tell you, the order you have given, there are other bureaucratic write-ups that should be able to cement whatever thing you have done. One of the ex-governors in Imo State will tell you then that approval is not released. I approve it. But you need some documentation for you to actually release that thing that has been approved. So they play a lot of politics with it.
If the president is desirous of ensuring that this comes to pass, you understand, beyond giving that order, executive order, he would have followed it up. You understand, to the conclusive end, and it becomes, but the order is there, and it's just like the judiciary. Judiciary said the president also did the same thing, that they should get their monies first, but that surprisingly it's not coming, and that's why they are on strike right now. You understand? So, and if you ask those that are probably heads of some of these institutions that deal with the bureaucratic bottlenecks, they will tell you they have something somewhere that they are buying, that is covering them from just doing what the president, they will be expecting some of the paperwork.
And it's not just what the president is saying, it's what the Constitution
is saying. Yes, I know.
Okay, let's have your thoughts. It's the People's Voice. Call 0815-050-1073 to be part of the this conversation. I tell you, all of these actions affect us one way or the other. The students are being affected.
Yes.
A lot of them are supposed to be writing exams now. They have to wait. They don't know how long. And if our courts cannot sit, that means your loved ones, when they are arrested, will spend longer time in police detention without any hope of getting justice, and not minding the fact that our legislators cannot even sit to deliberate on issues affecting the nation or even the state, because legislative workers have refused to call up the strike. So it's let's hear your thoughts. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
I want to appreciate what you are discussing this morning, especially the position by this planet as well. But the question is, and it doesn't
your line is
you might need to move around. Your line is not really clear.
Okay, so Chief Fidel, too well to call us back. Perhaps change your position so that we can hear clearly what you have to say.
The rainy seasons are here.
Yeah.
So.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
Yes, I think this was talking about the inspector strike.
Yes.
Yes. My name is Victor, calling from Okeke, only the local government area of the state. Yes,
all right.
Talking about the inspector strike in our country, this is one out of the many kinds of government as the fallout of bad governance in the country. Yes, this is a very clear indication that our leaders have really failed us. This is one of the fallout of bad governance. So I'm urging the Nigerians, because we will not continue to lament. I am of the opinion that nothing is working anymore in the country. The onus lies on the citizens now to resist the government and say no to bad practice. Enough is enough. Our leaders have nothing, they have nothing to offer anymore. Because every year you put your head, there one nasty happening or the other. That's the indication that the government of Israel are very woefully. We don't have an authority for them to take the package. Right. They're paying the electricals in that city. That's the budget at this time. Nothing more. Anything we are talking to do
have to do something now. All right.
Yeah, what is that thing we have to do now?
Yes, please tell us. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Paul, Zandas, and everyone who's concerned about the situation in Nigeria. For students, I come from a man.
You're welcome.
I was trying to consult my dictionaries to give me more definitions and attributes of a failed nation, of a failed state. And I couldn't find it. Everything is happening in Nigeria up described as Nigeria is a state of comatose. That we have headed down in that state of, the politics you find in the first state. And if anybody is not worried, I think all of us should. If we are not comfortable to identify with this identity that Nigeria has held as a state, then I don't know where we're heading to. You find yourself not secure. You look at the situation that no system seems to be working. And the government, unfortunately, seems not to be concerned. I don't know how I should feel, respecting myself. You don't get information from government to tell you, all you hear is, we are on top of what situation. How can you discuss with the people, you won't get to agreement, and suddenly everything is not working the way it should be? And people are still answering governors, people are still answering to the president, and people are still sitting there asking for people, and they're not saying that. What are we doing? And they want to know what another expert. You understand that? The next revolution, we can't handle it. Let these people who claim to be leaders wake up now. There is trouble of fire, they're trying to the mountain. God bless you.
God bless you too. We need to start running because there is fire on the mountain.
Someone said that yesterday, Paul, that there was fire on the mountain. Today again, we're hearing that same fire on the mountain. And also the fire does not consume us.
So I can't remember who I was talking to, and he says he has spent many years in the United States, and you don't carry out strike actions in the United States. You dare carry out strike actions, they see it as a terrorist act. That you can protest, but you cannot shut down the system for any reason. But here in Nigeria,
probably because the system is working right.
Okay, maybe, just maybe. However, how effective have these strikes been? Like,
it's a fundamental question.
You understand? If you continue to apply one method over and over, and it's not working.
Now, for example, let me tell you, this strike now embarked upon by ASU. You see, sometimes you see pressure on the president, the leadership of the National Union, to embark on the strike. It could be as a result of a perceived grievance or grievances coming from few chapters, and they have to possibly influence decision at the floor of neck. So if you have experienced members of NEC, they will advise. For instance, coming out from COVID-19, you know what our students have suffered. For 1 year, they paid rent, and for another year, they are going to pay the same rent. So why not consider those students also? They are our children. We shouldn't also do something that at the end of the day, you see that the overall damage will now affect us adversely. So these are some of the things we should put into consideration. Those students, for example, in Imo Poly now, those students need to graduate, let them go. Before they turn to armed robbers, frustration can make them begin to do things they wouldn't want to do. So it is important that the union should know when to make demand. Are you sure that the resources are there? This demand you are making now, do you think the resources are there?
Dr. Echeta, I've been wanting to ask this question without sounding biased. Is it possible that the government meets with all these unions and say, hey, we're in a very precarious situation, let's clean the slate and start on a new slate?
Now,
is it possible?
No, let me tell you, government is not also sincere. For example, we've been clamoring that the political office holders, that their salaries should be slashed. Has that been done?
No.
And you want a professor? Let me tell you, a professor in Nigeria does not earn up to 500,000 a month. Does not earn up to 500. So he's between 450 something, 400 to about that. Now, let's say for you to be a senator today, you need just a school cert to be a senator. Then what will be your take home at the end of the day? And you are telling us, let us clean it, let us start from clean slate.
You are going too far mentioning senators. Our lawmakers here earn not less than 4 million naira every month.
Okay.
All the allowances inclusive.
Okay. Now, a professor that all his life has been trying to make the society better than it is, training people, and at the end of the day, give him 400,000. What is he going to do with it? And the lawmaker is earning 4 million, right. Just a school cert holder.
Let's take this.
So if you say we should clean everything, let's start from them first.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Zandas. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Yeah, Chief Dr. Fidel Onyenek, and I'm calling from Owerri. Honestly, I'm highly impressed, of course, as usual, with Dr. Cheta for his wonderful exposition. The problem we have is that, yes, we appreciate the fact that we have these economic problems, not just in Nigeria, but different parts of the country. But in Nigeria, government has not taken time to call on various agencies, staff and organizations to explain the situation to them. Why is it that political office holders, some other groups still earn fat salaries, but when it comes to reduction of salaries, allowances and so on, you now concentrate on public servants, civil servants, including lecturers and so on? It is wrong. If they reduce it from the first person to the last person, so everybody will appreciate the fact that we are feeling the way you continue to punish some other people by not paying them the necessary.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
During COVID-19, the president and some of the lawmakers said they slashed their salaries by certain percentage.
Yeah, for 1 month.
Oh, was it
just for 1 month?
Oh, okay. I'm thinking issues.
Meanwhile, we are still looking to spend at least 40 billion naira to renovate the National Assembly building.
What about the refinery?
Oh, $1.5 billion for renovation, not building of a refinery.
Just renovation.
All right, so let's take some calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Paul. I'm cool. I'm up.
Okay, good to have you back. Go on.
Paul, I need to say something. What is it that we're going to do now? I think we are presenting the need for us to rise up in this country and be the nation. So, what I'm saying is that I don't know whether maybe when I was explaining about exactly what it was. Yes, what I'm saying is that about the urgency of Nigeria to rise up to the occasion and say no to banditry, because we have been enduring this for such a long time. So I don't know your own check or your own assessment. I don't know what you mean by that. Because you're asking me what is it now or whatever. That's what I'm saying. Are you not in this country? Are you don't you feel what's going on? All the killing, bloodshed, and what have you? Is it something to do? Is it something to make just for what?
No.
I don't know what is going to be. I don't know. Maybe you're not.
No, what we're asking.
I'm calling for them to rise up now and make sure this our wickedness
All right, thank you.
Rise up now.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I said, and I'm not sure how he's taking it, but
yeah, but I mean,
only re-echoed what he said. Yeah,
for everybody to rise up now. Okay.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Please turn down the volume on your radio. Good morning. St. Augustine, you need to turn down the volume on your radio. It's echoing back at us, so you leave that area.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, what I want to contribute is this. All this money that is supposed to be used to pay doctors, lecturers, and every other person, it's in the stomach of these senators and go, look at how big their stomach is. If you bought their stomach, all this money will come out. And another thing, I want to blame the unions. It's like a merry-go-round affair. When they go on strike, government will invite them. And what we hear, memorandum of understanding had been signed. It's not implemented, they will come back to work. So they have to. After telling the employees, they have to sit in the house. And when this is implemented, they will come to work. So I suspect sabotage among because when they gather, they bring from the collect an envelope and come up this time. So unless all this are done, this thing will not stop.
All right.
Thank you and God bless.
So it's becoming business for some
Dr.
leaders.
Echeta, is it possible if during COVID-19 the president, the vice president, lawmakers could, I think lawmakers left half of their salaries, or is it possible that all these political office holders can just leave their salaries for 1 month, Nigeria's government collates it and use it to solve some of this problem?
How much would that amount? If you are saying 1 month, we should have institutional arrangement that will say this is what their salary should be.
Oh, it should be a reduction of
yes, reduction, so that it will be sustainable. It's not something you do 1 month and the next month you don't do it. But let's go back to what the last caller said about gratification by union leaders. It happens. In every 12 there must be a Judas. It happens. But I am sure that the national leadership of ASUP today is credible. You can only see some of all these things in chapters, like the one that we are hearing about, the alleged 1 million collected by the maybe ASUP chairman of Imopoli. Is an allegation. Maybe you people have to investigate that further. But I want to also say here that when you have people who are not credible, they betray the union.
Hold your thoughts.
They betray it to the detriment of their colleagues.
After this commercial statement.
107.3 Darling FM. The People's Radio.
Make your life better with BBC News Pidgin. To get better for this world, you suppose know wetin dey. Make better tori ginger you from your domot to the whole world, because when you see every for the world, anything dey possible. Make your life better. Search for BBC News Pidgin.
Good morning, my neighbors. How are you doing? Who be that one for this early moment now? James, it is I, Johnny. I beg, I don't get money to borrow you again. Be calming down. No need for that, because I found more ways to make millions this season. Johnny, my friend, yam me better. Forget to, I don't get extra packet from Bet King. We be say if I chop one, it could be like say I don't chop 10.
That's right. You can max out your winnings on Bet King with
Boost for yourself.
Bet King, playground for kings.
Expressions without words won't have it any other way. Moments will feel joy. Bring your moment to life. Find the satisfaction in the nourishing trend and sparkling. Celebrate a little way, making big differences in the nourishing trend and sparkling.
Enjoy in red grape, white grape, peach variants, the Letter Sparkling Fruit Drink. Celebrate every moment. Another premium product from Intercontinental Distillers Limited.
Please, sir, how do I get to Retire Well Crescent?
It's easy. Just go straight on longitude 155. Take a 360-degree turn. Then traverse on the trajectory. And bam, you enter the streets. You can't miss it.
At Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, we believe that preparing for the future help you get started. Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, a member of Standard Bank Group.
Italian store cheap coated roof tiles. Easy to install, durable tiles with quality. Resistant to earthquake, assassin heat and cold.
Wow, it's trending. Luxury Building and Accessories Limited has brought to you Italian stone chip coated roof tiles. Italian stone chip coated roof tiles. It comes in 2 types: Galaxy roof tiles and luxury roof tiles by Peru, with interesting qualities like lightweight, easy to install, economically priced, fireproof, non-cracking, non-tearing, non-calling, resistant to earthquakes, typhoons, excessive heat and cold. Less labor. Structure of the steel roof tiles is superb. We have shingle, bond, classic, shake, Roman, Milano, Pisa, slate, etc. The color does not change. What are you waiting for? Go for tiles that can last for you. Durable with quality Italian stone chip coated roof tiles. Call us on 070-40-333-333.
Italian stone chip coated roof tile is my choice.
Italian stone chip coated roof tiles. Built with body.
107.3 Darling FM. The People's Radio.
let's see if we
are not interested with workers' welfare. That is the truth. Doctors are leaving the country. Judicial Council are on strike. Soon, the gods of the land will also go on strike. That would be disastrous. Mochechi Edeji says, good morning, Paul, Zandas, and the guests in the studio. The Nigerian government is notorious for reneging on almost every agreement they reach with labor, any group or sector. What is baffling most times is that what this group clamor for are feasible, and any serious government can meet these needs as they are geared towards improved working condition.
That's right.
You understand?
I agree with that.
So
whatever labor is asking for, it's
very busy. I mean, look at labor has not even gotten its
okay. Yeah. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Paul and Zandas. Good morning, our good guests in the studio. My name, of course, is Juju Obad, and I usually come from No Jesus. Yes. Granted that some labor leaders are corrupt to the extent that they want to compromise themselves with money, to become sellouts to their unions. But the truth is that, considering the precarious nature of our economy today, occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic and some other factors like the recent youth protest, I think in my mind this is not the best time for any union to embark on any strike action. At least if that union wants to exceed transparent patriotism. You see, the federal government has a lot of problems to contend with now. And I want to advise the unions, quite alright, whatever they are talking about, whatever demands they are making, might be a genuine one. But this is not definitely the right time for any sensible union and the union to embark on any strike action, because it is going to impact negatively on our already little economy that just existed recession some time ago. So my view is that I want to advise the unions to actually still engage the government in negotiation dialogue, which is a game of give and take. Right. That involves the leadership to the right and the leadership to the left. In order to actually, the government will be able to meet up so many other demands. Come to think of it, it is not the unions alone that the government have to control.
Thank you, Chief.
There are people in the private sector that the government owes some responsibilities to. So
Thank
I want to advise them to shield their song with some of these fights. Like in accordance with the saying that he who fights and runs away lives to fight again. But not insist that everything be given to them at a time. Because if I shoot Doctors Union and others are demanding for one form of favor or the other, and all the same time, definitely the government will be grounded, which at the end of the day will not be to anybody's interest. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you. All right, as we conclude, right, let's look at the fact that unions have to resort to strike to actually press the government to do what they are supposed to do. Judicial workers asking for autonomy, that is what the government is supposed to do. Strike action should not even come in the mix. Legislative workers asking for autonomy, ASUP asking for the institutions to be well funded. These are basic issues. Why would any government that is serious wait for strike actions to take place before they do the needful?
We are already used to the system. Government will come, that same government will go, another one will come, and they continue playing the same politics with all the sectors. But again, it is important that what Chief Jude said, when to strike is important. You should know when to strike. You should know when to strike such that the demands will be effective. You don't just strike when you're not supposed to strike.
Yeah, but for the unions, this is the appropriate time when it will hit the government.
No, you see, you have to check other things.
If they put it when everywhere is conducive, the government might not be moved to.
Not when everywhere is conducive. You should also. There is what we call Pareto optimality. It has to be Pareto optimal. If it's not Pareto optimal, then you are in big trouble. That's in economics. I don't want to go in there. But let me tell you, the truth remains that when government has done well, we should say they've done well. If they are not doing it right, like we are saying now, we should be able to also tell them. Let me just refer us to Imo State Polytechnic. With respect to payment of salary, 100% have been restored, prompt payment of salary. Apart from those that have not been captured, we pray that the state government should be able to capture those people and dry their tears. Some of them up to 1 year, 6 months have not been captured. So what that means, they have not received salary for this number of months. Then the 2018 salary, March and April, is still there. Then 20% from May 2018 to 2020 December is still hanging. And again, another one that is important, Imo State Polytechnic is about to be relocated to another location. But again, some of the courses have lost accreditation. Accreditation is just like ongoing exercise. After, like MBC will come, check what you are doing. That does not mean they will not come again. So accreditation is something that is continuous. So there are some that are now having some deficiencies in accreditation. So government should be able to do something with respect to that. So, and constitute a governing council, because I'm sure the governing council, their tenure is over. So they should be able to constitute a governing council so that they have the full responsibility of what they have to do to see that that institution survives.
Thank you very much, Dr. Desmond Echeta. He is a senior lecturer in economics at the Imo State Polytechnic, Umagwo Ohaji. He's also a public sector economist. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
I am Paul the Magician.
And I'm Zandas, Okeke Otigba.
Stay tuned for the news headlines. Good morning.